Well, hello to the three churches in Southeast Montana. Pastor Michael again, and I got a couple things I'd like to share with you. Kind of more, I think, like updates than new stuff. A lot of you guys already know that camp meeting is coming on real soon. I think it's the second week of July. Somewhere starting around the 10th, I believe. It's the Wednesday following the 4th of July, I think is what it is. So anyways, hope to see all of you guys there. Of course, me and my family will be there, or my family and I, for those that want to correct my English. And so look forward to seeing you guys there. There's going to be a lot of exciting classes that they're going to have available. I don't know if anybody has seen the list yet on what would that be on the website that kind of shows some of the classes that are going to be available for camp meeting. There's going to be some pretty exciting ones, and I hope you guys will be able to enjoy all those. Also, one of the things I'd like to share with you is I want to thank you guys that did respond to my last video with the questions that I was asking. I'd like to share those again because there's a point besides just kind of like wondering where everybody's at. So the question was kind of twofold. One, how do you believe that God has personally called and or equipped you for ministry? Okay, in other words, often that can be seen in things that you're interested in, things that people tell you that you're good at. Those can often be indicators that God has gifted you in that area, that you have an interest in it. And then also, how do you see that your calling or equipping fits into the local church? And then how does the local church, how do you believe God has called the local church to minister into the community? All right, because as we've talked before, as each of us are individuals, so are our churches individual. Churches and our communities have their own character and personality. So what's going to work in one community may not necessarily carry over very smooth into another community. So I really hope that you guys are praying about that, asking God what He's called you to do and how He wants you to minister into the community through the church. Okay, and one of the reasons that I'm asking this, so for you guys that have not responded yet, I really look forward to getting your responses to that. But one of the reasons that I'm asking this also is the conference has decided to give, I think it's $15,000 to each district, not each church, but each district. Now, the idea with that is not that it's going to be taken and divided evenly among the churches in each district. Okay, that's not the idea. The idea is that the money is going to go to churches that have plans for evangelism. Okay, and so it's going to be based on that. So if we have one church that really doesn't have anything going on, they don't have any plans, no intentions in the foreseeable future, but another church is like, hey, yeah, man, we got this thing going on, and we're going to try to get this moving in about 3 or 4 months or 6 months or whatever. Then guess where that money's going to go? The money's going to go to the churches that have some plans. All right. So that's one of the reasons that I've asked you guys to answer these questions, is because I really want to see you guys really kind of praying intentionally, asking God, praying. Okay. Not just, oh, I think or I feel, but convicted through prayer that God has called you to minister in this way, and that it fits into the local church this way, and that then carries into the local community. Okay, so I really want to see you guys praying about that, asking God for guidance. All right, and then working on, ideally see our churches working on some plans. One of the things that we don't want to do, I really don't want to do this, and that is just we come up with our own ideas, do our own thing. I'd like to share with you a couple of verses. None of these verses are new. You guys have all heard these before, but I really think that they fit in the context of what we're looking at here. Okay, the first one is Psalm 127, verse 1. 127, verse 1. Unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it. And unless the Lord guards the city, the watchman keeps awake in vain. So as we see there, it's not just us doing our thing. right? We need to ask God, God, build your local church, build Glendive Church, build Miles City Church, build the Hardin Church, Lord. We don't want to be busy on our own energy, doing our own plans, and what happens when we do that? We end up getting tired. We end up getting frustrated. It just doesn't work out. So prayerfully asking God, God, how have you called this local church to minister into the community? What do you want us doing? Not what do we want to do, and then God, can you bless that? But no, God, what do you want us to do? And how do you want me personally to be a part of that collective experience? Okay, and then the next one is, again, like I said, nothing new here as far as verses. Luke 24, verse 49. And this is kind of Luke's version of the Great Commission. I know I preached on the Great Commission as we see in the Gospels here just recently. We see that Luke doesn't really have a specific Great Commission, but a lot of parallels with it. And so in Luke 24, verse 49, it says, "Behold, I am sending forth the promise of my Father upon you, but you are to stay in the city until you are clothed with power from on high." And this is something that I have been praying for some time. I hope each one of you are involved in this prayer, and that is, God, give us your power. Give me your power to do what you've called me to do, because I don't want to do my own thing on my own strength. Lord, I don't even want to do your plan on my strength. I want to do your plan on your strength, Lord. That's the only way it can be accomplished successfully, in a way that's going to glorify God and increase his kingdom, right? And so I want to encourage you guys to keep those things in mind. We're asking God to build the house. We're asking God to give us the power to do what he's called us to do, right? And so, again, I ask you guys, please pray about those questions, send those questions to me, and then let's really start asking God how he wants us to share the gospel. Not just the gospel, but as we understand specifically what God has called the Seventh-day Adventist Church to, which is distinctly unique, and that is that we have the message of the three angels' messages, and I think it's in Revelation 18, we're promised that angel again that's going to put power in the message. We're asking for that promise to be fulfilled. God, give us your power to get your last day message out into the community. So you guys pray about that. Please get me those questions answered. I do look forward to seeing your answers, and just kind of give me an idea of where each one of you are at, kind of the thought process, how God is working in your hearts and minds. And so I believe that's it. Again, Cami, one more thing. This is particularly for my AV people. One of the things that I'm wanting to do, I think particularly with the fourth Sabbath of the month, since that Sabbath rotates through the three churches every month, what I would like to do is begin to Zoom the sermon out to the other two churches that I'm not at on any given Sabbath. So I want to get in touch with my AV people. I know I've talked with some of you guys already. I think talking with the conference leaders, they felt like Zoom would be better than like live streaming onto YouTube. So anyways, I'd like to get with our AV guys and gals and make sure that everything will sync up on a Sabbath. So I'll be in touch with you folks with AV, and we'll get that worked out. Like I said, I'd like to have that going on for the fourth Sabbath. God bless y'all, and we'll see you next time I'm at your church. Lord blessing. Bye-bye.